Broadcasting live online.
Turn it on. Turn it up.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking. Welcome.
Smartphone.
All around the world. This is Star Radio UK.
A very good evening to you out there. And welcome to Faith Talk Special this evening from the studios of Star Radio UK. A very special one. We hardly do this unless it's for national service to Golden Country. On the 26th of June, exactly 22 past the hour of 7, we're about to do some national politics. We're talking about the nation of Ghana. Tomorrow is the D-Day for the Assin of by-elections. So much has been put into this this particular by-elections. It's quite an interesting one. But why are we spending time to talk about all this important by-elections? The reason being, if you're a diaspora and it bothers you and me, that's the first point of call. Because we believe that if the technicalities are right, then diasporans, we have to learn from what has happened to this gentleman, Mr. James Quaison, Mr. Quaison. I believe I've got it right. And I believe that he's all set for tomorrow, and also Mr. Opoku is set for the by-elections tomorrow. That's the candidate of the national is a New Patriotic Party, I beg your pardon. That's the MPP, and the NDC is Mr. JC Quaison. And so it's going to be something on a new dimension, where all the gurus and people that makes it happens, the movers and shakers of Ghana, from the opposition to the government in power, rallies in the rain. Amazing how politicians can be so interesting sometimes. We will be discussing that. My guests are all set and ready for us to break into what is happening in Assin North. We might be in London or in the United Kingdom, but we know because of via the technology Yes, we know everything that's happening. We know what has transpired, the do's and don'ts and the disadvantages that has been placed. But you know what, in the next few minutes, let me acknowledge our sponsors who have made it possible for us to be streaming live to you. My guests are all set and ready. I'll be naming them shortly, and they'll be on your screens for us to dive into the main subject. The Assin of by-election. Why is it important? Why are we so concerned about that? I believe by tomorrow this time we will know the smoothest level whether the MPP will be able to take power from the NDC. It's going to be a sweet victory, whichever party wins anyway. We wish the best to win. No jandam moves. And let me say that a very good evening to you out there. I miss the song so much, and it's a national song, so let's enjoy it. But let me say a big thank you to Kerry's Furniture, one company on 2 continents. In Atlanta, Georgia, you can order and they deliver to your doorstep. And also in Ghana, they are in Community 25. And you know, the good news is that at the Deftraco Estate Junction Top Oil petrol station, they will be able to also deliver to your doorstep in Ghana, anywhere in Ghana. But the good news is that they've added some new lines to it. That's interior deco, that one-stop shop that you'll be able to shop everything you need for your new home. Is it for your hotel, for your Airbnb business? Look no further. It's Kerry's Furniture, where quality speaks for itself. So look no further. These guys know what they are doing, and they are professionals as well. They don't compromise on quality. Let me say a big thank you to M&M Concept as well. M&M Concept, when it comes to all designs, graphics, print works, banners, t-shirts, mags, all merchandise, it's got to be M&M Concept. KT and the team, powerful team, a global company based in Accra, Ghana. They deliver all mine. Give them a deadline within which they'll deliver on quality as well. So M&M Concept, at the end of the show, will give you some contact to contact. And let me say a big thank you to Mparey Associate as well. If you're looking for housing project management company, trustworthy, these guys have worked in the UK and they are now in Ghana. So if you've burned your fingers with friends and family, then look no further. Oh, Mparey Associate will take you from conception to completion and give you value for money. And also, last but not the least, is CIG Properties. If you're looking for a trustworthy company, if you're looking to invest in Africa or in the United Kingdom, then look no further. CIG Properties, that's www.cigpropertyuk.com. That's www.cigpropertyuk.com. And these guys will be able to give you mortgage advice, get you a mortgage, whether expatriate mortgages, residential or buy to let, and all that it comes with. The property industry, CIG Properties will be there for you to sell, to let, and also to manage for you as well. So look no further. I'll give you more information about how to contact them at the end of the program. We're all set. Our guests are set. We're ready to roll. But let's do some national thing in 1 minute. Let me do this. I love the nation Ghana. Let's do this.
This is Star Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
around the world. All around the world.
The best radio show.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Welcome.
Okay, so truly welcome to Faith Talk Live on Star Radio UK on the Monday night, a very special one, and we are all set and ready to roll. I believe that if you've just received a link, do us a favor and keep sharing. We are streaming live on Twitter. Our Twitter feed is Star Radio UK. On Facebook, we've got a couple of pages on KB Bossman Facebook page, on Star Radio UK Global, Star Radio UK fan page, Star Radio UK Facebook page as well, and also we're streaming on our YouTube page, on Periscope, on TuneIn Radio, on www.starradiouk, and also on our amazing interactive app. Download it on Android and also on Apple as well. You'll be able to listen on the go. And so tonight my guests are all set and ready for us to do some national service. I call it it's national service. So if you wherever you might be, please get the family together and let's do some business. But the thing is that because of time, we'll not be able to take calls. We will not be able to take calls because the reason being, let me explain, because I do receive text messages of people wanting to call in. The reason being is that when people come on, instead of going straight to the point, they will beat about the bush and quote back and forth, and that wastes time. And if you cut them off, it's also a whole new story together. So what we result in doing, unless you can't type, that's different, but then we will appreciate if you can send us a message on all our social media platforms. We'll be more than happy to read them out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Also we have a dedicated line for our WhatsApp. It's 07539661744. That's 07539661744. And also please let me make this announcement that as you can see, I've got two members of the National Democratic Congress on the show, and my other guest is a political analyst and also a doctoral researcher at the London School of African Studies. I believe I've got it right. Yeah, London School of Oriental and African Studies. He's a doctoral researcher, and so that's Dr. Lord Adusei Aikings, and he is my guest. And also I have the former chairman of the Milton Keynes branch of the National Democratic Congress, that's the NDC, joining me in the person of Conrad Dumbah, and he is also a finance specialist, a chartered accountant, finance specialist as well. He's vying to become the national of the UK and Ireland chairman of the NDC. And so I believe that if knowing him, I believe that he is the best man to lead them. I'm not doing any campaign for anybody, but if I was a member of the NDC, I would have voted for him. And also, last but not the least, is Mr. Fifi Asante Mparey, and he's an entrepreneur, both doing business in the UK and Ghana. He's a social and political activist, and very, very, let me use the word loud and impacting on social media, Facebook to be precise, and also. He's a member of the NDC UK and Ireland chapter. So it's a packed one. I believe that we'll be able to do justice to the topic. We extended an invitation to the New Patriotic Party, the communication head of communication, their unit, and they did not honor the invitation. They said they have other engagements, so we do respect that, and so we are not being biased. If you're watching us, we did what we had to do, and they have not honored our invitation. So please, we will try our best to I'm not going to do their bidding, but I'll make sure that it's balanced. Gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening.
Wonderful.
Good evening, baby, and good evening to you, my fellow panelists.
Good evening, Fifi. Good evening to the listeners, and to KB and Doc.
Doc, yes. Doc will be on screen shortly. Doc, can you hear? Okay. Thank you.
I'm inching closer to the house.
Yes.
So as soon as I get in, I will turn on my video.
Your video, yes.
However, I would like to take this opportunity to also acknowledge my co-panelists, and I hope that today's discussion is going to be fruitful for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc, and we appreciate that effort. And I know it's not on a Monday night; it's work day, so for national service for God and country. So, gentlemen, let me go straight to the point. Why has Assin not become all of a sudden? It's become like was it in America? One of the states, is it? The deciding state that changes the whole game. It's become the defining constituency that even the number of people from both the former president, the current president, all the big wigs of both parties are trooping to Assin. It looks as if that if I was an Assin person, this would be my cocoa season, to be quite honest, to make sure that every developmental need in that constituency will be met within a month. And if you can't honor it, we vote against you. Why? Let me go straight to Chairman. Why has Assin become so popular and so critical?
Thank you very much, KB, and good evening again once more to all listeners and viewers. It's a really good question you've asked, and I think that it's probably one that many analysts have not looked into. So far, we've all focused on the political angle, and people from the political side, you are looking to find out the reasons why Assin North is having a by-election, why James Jichikwesin is being dragged through the mud, if not being tormented. And some just say, oh, it's just the NDC's way of paying back the NDC on the former MP for Boko Central, who was stood down by the Supreme Court equally, or I don't know if it's Supreme Court, the High Court, the late Adamu Sakande. But that is far from that.
What
the reason is
sorry, was he an NPP MP?
Yes.
Okay,
So he won Boku Central from the NDC, I think somewhere in 2008 or so. I believe so, if my memory serves me right, from Honorable Mahama Yarga. And of course, a case went to court and it was established, and this is the clear thing, it was established that at the time he was sworn in, not at the time he filed nominations, not at the time he was even elected on 7th of December, but on the night of the 6th of January when he had been sworn in, he was still in possession of no less than 2 other nationalities in addition to Ghana. So he was Ghanaian, he was holding a Burkinabe passport, and he was holding a British passport. So when you compare the two, you find that it's a case of apples and oranges. You can't quite compare them, because James Jichikwesin was not a citizen of any other country except Ghana on election day, on 7th of December 2020. He was not a citizen of any other country except Ghana when he was sworn in on the 6th of January 2021. And so there's clear blue sea between the two. The two are not comparable. So what exactly is the reason? The reason is simple. The reason at this point in time is basically the IMF deal. Why do I say so? It is economic. I mean, I think it was Bill Clinton that was quoted to have said, "Is the economy stupid?" I don't know what. I mean, we all know that what he's basically saying is that the root cause of all of that, it was the economy. Why? Because if you look at the numbers the NPP have in parliament, and if you look at the task they have a Herculean task of making sure that they pass very drastic and punitive cuts, as well as foster huge tax increases, increase utility prices, increase things like electricity, water, and so many other stuff, which Ghanaians won't be happy with. And with the current parliament we have, the NDC has told them point blank that they will not allow them to run that amount of pain through Ghanaians.
Right.
And so the NPP has calculated that the only way they can do this is by getting a majority in parliament. In other words, taking one from the NDC and adding it to themselves. Because as you know, we have a hung parliament. And so that is the overriding, if you like, incentive or the reason why the NPP is doing what they are doing. It is not merely to punish anybody else. It is merely because they seek to take control of parliament so that they can visit upon Ghanaians huge pain. You know, cuts to various subsidies, increases in utility prices like electricity, hiking up taxes and all that stuff. They cannot do this with the NDC. And the NDC leadership led by Honorable Atuforson has said notice that we will not support those damaging initiatives on the economy.
Okay.
And so the only reason they are doing this is because they want to take control of parliament and visit pain on Ghanaians. And I think that the people of Assin North should be listening and be realizing this. I think that message hasn't really permeated to the ground.
Okay.
But the reason is you vote for the NPP, you are voting for pain. You are voting for a punitive IMF program.
You are voting for pain. Okay, thank you, Chairman Conrad, for that intro. Let me go straight to Fifi. Why would the MPP be inflicting? Let me use the word. Let me borrow the word mayhem and pain, as Chairman Conrad has just made us aware that they want to win this particular by-election, basically so that they can have their way in terms of numbers in parliament, so that they can manipulate, let me not use the word manipulate, so that they can have their way with numbers. So they vote and win every vote in parliament because they have the numbers. Why would they, having that at the back of their mind that 2024 is just about 18 months away, and they want to break the 8? Why would they want to do that to Ghanaians?
Thank you, for your question, and also I just want to say thank you for the opportunity once again, and also greetings to all our listeners across the world. We all know, as my dear comrade Conrad has explained, of the Adamu Sakandi's case and the current Datu Praising's case, which he did mention that you need to compare apples with apples, which is absolutely right. What the NP has done with this Datu Praising case is actually comparing apples with oranges instead of comparing apples with apples, because we had somebody like Ursula Owusu, who is Minister of Communication, went into during the vetting of the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Ursula dived into this and spoke briefly about the Datu Praising case, and then made reference to the Adamu Sakandi's case, which and urged the NDC to be quiet for processes to take place. But we can't be quiet for processes to take place when it's not when both cases are totally two different things. You get me? Anyway, let me go straight into your direct question. What actually is going on is the NPP needs this city because they have can't carry it. They've got a year and a half to go, as you said. Why would anybody within a year and a half to go with such an appeasement performance and what have you, why would they even require just one number to take them over to have the majority? But that number is so important to them. Why? Because they still have things under their sleeve that they want to inflict on Ghanaians before they go into election 2024. And this is one of the things that Ghanaians don't realize, and the people of Assin North particularly have to realize. The NPP has been very cunning with their selection of candidates, with the message that they sending about, even including the president himself, making references like, "Oh, I need somebody who will come and work with me." 36 as we speak, MP. You are not even working with them. You are not playing ball with them. So how would that one person from Assin North is now that you require to try and work with them, or you require to work with them? But as Conrad rightly said, they have things that they want to. LGBTQ is one of them. Okay, we need to mention them. It's something that private members know that is being said, or what have you. If this goes through Parliament, they know, we know that the NPP are not happy with it, because the Western world is beating the current administration hard on it, and they need this number to be able to make these decisions. You know that there are other taxes that is within their engine room cooking that they want to pass before we go into election 2024. So what people have to realize is this situation, if that situation is elected, it doesn't make the NDC to come and rule. Yes, it gives us the majority. But it doesn't give us the majority. What it does is it gives us the tie break for both parties to ensure that we are not going to play ball with each other. Especially we are not going to play ball with the NPP, with the strategies and the things they have in mind to inflict on Ghanaians before 2024. So it is what it is. Ghanaians have to realize that it's fighting for them. NDC is to retain this seat because they don't want Ghanaians to go through extra taxes that will be inflicted upon them before election 2024. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Fifi, for the intro. And let me say, if you've just joined us, you're live on Star Radio UK, and this Faith Talk special edition for tonight. We are discussing the Assin North by-election in Ghana, Central Region to be precise. Why is it so crucial for the nation of Ghana, and most importantly for the politicians to be I've been watching some live feed from Assin North, and it's amazing. Ghanaians will have to wake up and get to be to know the truth and read between the lines. That's my take for now. But let me go straight to Dr. Lord Edusei Aikings. Doc, are you set with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So, Doc, in terms of what the topic, what we're discussing, Assin North has become so crucial, so critical, and more or less it looks like it's a game changer. I don't know if it's for the nation or for the political parties. What is your take on this?
Thank you for having me. Thanks to my co-panelists. I think the question you're asking is about what the situation is regarding who wins Assin North.
Yeah.
It has become a very critical constituency now because of the hung parliament that we have.
Yes.
The MPP as a government party needs Assin North badly, because without Assin North, most of the policies that the government would like to implement may not be easy for the government to have those policies passed in Parliament before it can be implemented. As you may be aware, Parliament has a critical role to play when it comes to approving government policies. And so the MPP, as a party, they need Assin North very, very bad, because without Assin North, most of their policies will not see the light of the day.
Right.
The NDP, as a political opposition, also needs Assin North, because by that they will be able to counter government policies that, as my two colleagues have already emphasized, they are not happy with government policies that seem to make life difficult for Ghanaians. So, with that seat, NDC will be able to challenge the government, will be able to confront the government boldly, able to force the government to resign some of its decisions and policies. So the NDC as a party also needs Assin North badly. Because without that, they will not be able to counter government policies the way they want. So Assin North is very critical for both parties. But I think that the government needs Assin North badly than the NDC. Because you know, NDC is
they are in the opposition, so
there's not it's not a party in government.
right.
So though they try to confront the government here and there, they will still government can still use other means to get its policies through executive action and all that. But with Assin North on the side of NDC, it will be a very tough fight for the government. Government will struggle to implement key policies, because if Parliament does not certify or affirm certain policies of the government, it can never be implemented. If the government goes ahead to implement, it will be contravening the Constitution. So with Assin North also in the hands of NDC, it gives them a lot of room to manipulate government, to actually force government to think deep when it comes to implementing some of the policies. If the government has a majority, they can do whatever they want. Sometimes they don't even listen to the opposition. But if the opposition also has the numbers, as we are now looking at, if they are able to win Assin North, that will be very, very beautiful for Ghana's democracy, because then the opposition will be able to tell the government, if you want to implement this policy and you want us to support you, then you have to do A, B, C, D. And the government will have to listen. Otherwise, that policy may not be passed in Parliament. So Assin North is a very crucial constituency now.
Right.
Now than I think it is the most important constituency in
the history of Ghana?
In the history of this parliament. It is.
Right.
Because it is not the deciding factor. It is not the constituency that is going to either let the NDC be able to tell the government to do A, B, C, D, or it is the constituency that will be able to allow the government to have a slight majority. I mean, even if the MPP wins, MPP will still have a very slight majority. Very, very slight. I mean, very, very weak majority. So, though the government will be able to negotiate, I mean, pass some of the laws, it will still be struggling to do that, because a very strong opposition can actually frustrate you.
Okay.
So Assin North is critical. It's very, very critical.
Right.
And I share the opinion of my two colleagues.
Okay.
From a more economic perspective,
yes,
I think that Assin North can help Ghanaians.
Doc, sorry to interrupt you, but my follow-up question was going to be, if it's that critical, and Ghanaians, because I've been, as I said, I've been following keenly with regards to the live feed and interviews with the locals as to why people should vote for the opposition or the government. So if it's this critical and it will help the ordinary citizens or the locals, why would they not buy, or why would the opposition not put in every effort to help? If you can give us your opinion on that, I mean, within a minute or two, then we can go to the other stuff, please.
I think if you follow the campaign, NDC is throwing a lot of resources
as compared to the government.
I watched former President John Mahama touring.
You mean during this campaign?
Yes, last Saturday.
Okay, on Saturday, yes.
He was, I think, around 15th of this month.
Yeah.
He was there with Sami Jamfi. I saw a couple of videos where they went there and they were engaging the people. I think the NDC is throwing a lot of resources. They do understand the crucial position of their constituency. And the MPP also is doing the same. They are also throwing a lot of resources because they also understand how crucial that constituency is. So we, as to whether the people understand, that is also a different question. But I do understand that because of the intensive campaign going on, the people have been made to understand that they are now important. If they were not important 4 years ago, today they are very, very important.
Yeah.
They are now deciding the fate of MPP as a government. And they are also now going to decide the fate of NDC as a crucial opposition party. So that constituency is very important.
Okay.
As to whether they are going to go for MPP or the NDC, let me know tomorrow. But I think both parties are doing well in terms of the way they are carrying themselves, campaigning, visiting homes, engaging the people, alerting them, and all that. I think so. Both parties are doing well, my understanding. and the people too, I think, are listening, and they are going to make their decision tomorrow.
Okay.
And yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Law, that you say Aikings. So I'm going to go back straight to Fifi. Let me come back to you, and my question is very simple. I'm basing this question on what I've watched this afternoon, live feed from other stations, and the interactions with the locals and what they believe it's going to happen. That's perception. Now, do you believe that the NDC has what it takes to win this particular elections?
Getting heavy. I believe the NDC has everything it takes to win this election. This by-election is not so much about databasing. Let's Ghanaians vote this. And this by-election is not so much about the NDC. That is another thing that Ghanaians should note. But this by-election is everything to do with Ghana. It's to do with the people of Ghana, the policies that this current administration wants to pass, and the kind of taxes and what have you, anything they have under their sleeve that they want to inflict on Ghanaians before they leave the scene finally. That is why the NDC is fighting every corner to ensure that it doesn't happen. So the NDC and Justification are fighting the interest of Ghanaians. That is the first thing that we need to note. Now let me go straight into your question whether we believe the NDC could win this. Yes, and I won't even use the word could. We all know, Katie, that by-elections are very, very tricky, even in this part of the world. The majority government go in a by-election and lose it. The Conservatives have lost how many by-elections? Ever since they took over. There's so many by-elections. They've got 2 more looming by-elections coming, and they are presidents. Okay? Why? Because you could win a constituency today, in a month's time there could be a by-election. That by-election can go against you because of how by-elections are conducted. When by-elections are done, you have, because it's the only in the entire country, both parties are going to have all our resources there, and then it becomes very, very tricky. It's not like the general election whereby the resources are divided across the nation. Hence, there is not so much focus and attention in a particular constituency, and this is what makes by-election very, very, very tricky. But I have in my hands here data. I'm going to pick up a data from 2012 election and then break something down to you.
Is this data relating to Assin North?
That's correct. This is the Assin North data.
Okay.
I have in my hand in 2012. Let me go straight into 2012.
Right, because I was going to. I've written that down. That was the next question that I was going to ask with regards to the numbers.
Okay.
So go on.
So let me give that for you then. But what I will say is, in 2012, if you look at the data that is collected from 2012, Assin North seat. Assin North seat was won by the NDC.
2012.
Yes. If you look at, because in 2012 that seat was won by NDC. In 2014 it changed.
No, 2016. It should be 2016.
Sorry, 2016. Yes, it changed over to the NDP, and then 2020 it came back to the NDC. And if you look at even the presidential as well, in 2012, with regards to the presidential, is very, very tricky as well with regards to the presidential. You get to see that it fluctuates. It came to NDC, it went to NPP, and then it kind of Nanado only won the 2020 just by 3,000 votes. This pursuit is a constituency that is. It was swing. It's kind of a swing.
A swing
In America,
constituency.
they will call it the swing state.
Yeah.
But over here, it's more of a in Ghana. It's more of a swing constituency, and the votes there are very, very, very close. It's very tight. That is the reason why you could go anywhere. Even though I'm hopeful that NDC, with all the work that they put on the ground, the effort that is gone into this, and educating the people and telling them the reasons why they should vote the NDC, are base their voting on these kind of facts and vote the NDC in this by-election tomorrow. But the NPP has been very, very strategic. We all can see that.
Strategic in what sense?
Candidates.
So strategic in what sense?
They've been a strategic in the sense that you could see in 2020 when we went into the general polls, the candidate that they brought, picked that candidate. That person's numbers were 7. Let me quote these numbers.
I'll appreciate that if you can do that.
Yeah, let me quote these numbers quickly, and then let's have a look. So, when we went into the general polls in 2020, Datukwe against Abena Mensah, who was then the NPP candidate.
Okay.
The NEC won 17,498 votes, and Abena had 14,193 votes. So Datukwe beat Abena just over 3,000 votes. 3,000 votes. And now what they've done is they've been strategic by going into Datukwe's stronghold, which is his hometown. Pick up a candidate from there. Yes, in the beginning we weren't happy. It's not actually based in Assin North, but we've been told it's allowed, and it's something that is legal, is absolutely fine. We don't have an issue with it. But what they're doing is they want to crush the numbers in Datukwe's own hometown. Because when you have two candidates coming from the same hometown, it becomes very tricky. Both could go anywhere. And that is where the NPP has been very strategic. And that is where my worry is. Other than that, rest assured, we're good to go.
Okay, that's a very interesting one. So, you're very confident that in spite of all the work that the MPP claim they have done, roads and some electrification projects and other bits and pieces, you are very confident that these 3,000 votes, they will not be able to go in there and reclaim that 3,000 votes. You're very confident.
What people tend to forget is in the general polls that we had, CPP, PPP, we have other small parties, which this time around, who also gathered a lot of votes. When you put their votes together, it's over 1,000 as well.
Okay.
And this time around, those parties do not have representatives. So those votes are also there for the grabs, for the NDC, and for the grabs for the M. You spoke about roads. You spoke about the last minute developments that they think they are doing.
You call it last minute. If you can wrap up.
Roads in the rainy season.
Okay.
Roads in the rainy season.
I mean, in the UK, roads can be constructed overnight. So I don't see this as something that is strange, something that is so unique. But one
it's
second.
absolutely correct. Assin North is not UK. If you look at you look at the whole of Ghana, we don't do roads like that.
Yeah.
Why? Because the NPP government knows that they have failed across the country. That is the reason why anytime there is a by-election, they throw money into those areas. They try to tell the people, we are here to do something for you. And then as soon as they win that election, a typical example is Kumawu, and then that's it. Those bulldozers will leave the scene within a week. And you will never see them again. And Assin North, people of Assin North, the fantastic people of Assin North who are back that face and up to this time, I believe they will take lessons from that.
Okay. Thank you, Fifi. Politicians are quite interested. Today, you guys are calling. I've been watching, not just you. You guys are calling Assin North people fantastic, unique, important. I mean, politics is such an interesting one. We'll come back to that. If you've just joined us, thank you. This Faith Talk live on Star Radio UK, a very special edition discussing politics of Ghana. And the focus is on Assin North. Assin North. You're in the diaspora. Maybe you're a second generation Ghanaian, and you have no idea of what we're talking about. The Assin North and what is Assin North. And Assin North has become the most important constituency. In other words, like, is it a county? In the UK, we say county, that will make or break the government of the current government of Ghana. So very important. And my guest this evening is the honorables that have made themselves available for us to discuss this important topic. Why? Because I see it as a national service that will change the face of Ghanaian politics, whether we are going to still be in a mess or we are going to come out, as the politicians are saying. So I have Lord Edusei Aikings, PhD, and he is a political analyst and doctoral researcher at the University of London School of Oriental and African Studies, and also the Honorable Chartered Accountant, and he is also the former chairman of the NDC. I was going to say New Patriotic Party. Yay, that would be trouble for me. The NDC.
No way. Hey.
I know chairman understands, so don't worry. And so he's also vying to become the chairman for the UK and Ireland, become the chairman for the NDC in the UK and Ireland, and I believe that he deserves it as well. And last but not the least is Mr. Fifi Asante Mparey. He's an entrepreneur doing business on 2 continents and doing some amazing stuff, and also a social and political activist and a member of the UK and Ireland chapter of the NDC. So I'm going to go straight to Chairman Conrad. Chairman.
Yes, boss.
I have picked a lot of questions also from some of the discussions that have taken place, apart from my personal research that I've done. Some of them are true, some of them are not, some of them are just propaganda. I know that, I believe that. But this question has come up and it's been running through on the lips of the New Patriotic Party communicators, and which, if it's true, then the NDC have not done a good job. This is the question. They are very, very, very sure that this was coming from your former chairman of the Central Region, what's his name, Alote Jacob, said that in 2012 and 2016, Mr. James Quayson did not qualify. He was disqualified. As a matter of fact, he was disqualified because of the fact that he had not renounced his citizenship of as a Canadian, and so based on that, they did not give him the opportunity to contest. And coming into the 2020 primaries, for him to be selected, he had still not renounced his citizenship. So, putting all this together, whether it's true or not, why would he, knowing that he's got an eye to become the member of parliament for the Assin North people, and he's got nowhere to turn to but to become an MP, and knowing what is written is what was stand, as you have to be a Ghanaian citizen, why did he not renounce if this is true? And even if it's not true, are there lessons for us to learn? That's my question.
Yeah, thank you very much, KB. I think the long and short of it is that what our former Central Regional Chairman has said should be taken with a huge amount of salt, not just a pinch of salt. Why do I say that? What he said, it doesn't make sense if you look at it from an MPP and an NDC perspective. Right. And actually even doesn't make sense when you even look at it from the case, and we look at the case that the Supreme Court's own verdict, and what kind of, if you like, what kind of the case law that they cited for their decisions. Now, first and foremost, he says that the guy did not renounce his citizenship in 2012, and that's why he was disqualified. There are many members of parliament who did not renounce their foreign citizenship at the point they were made parliamentary candidates. What is important, and what has always been accepted globally, including in Ghana, up to this weird judgment, was that by the time you are elected, you should have no other nationality. The reason is simple. The Constitution, Article 94(2) is clear that at the point of being a member of parliament, you should owe no further allegiance to anybody else. It didn't say at the point of making a decision to contest. Neither did it say at the point you are filing your documents. The key date is, do you become a member of parliament when you file your nominations with the EC? No. You don't. You have to go through an election. What is important is on the 7th of December when you are being elected, if you are still a member of, citizens of another country, and therefore you are elected as a parliamentary, a PC elect, and you have got dual citizenship, then we have the problem. And so whatever Aluteji Corps was saying, please, we know Aluteji Corps has got no love for the party anymore. We know his position, so he just came out to say whatever he wants to say, hoping to help the MPP case. But let's look at the facts. When the MPP took this case to court, and that's Godfrey Dame and the team, this is MPP, we are not looking at it even as a state, let's be factual. Yeah. What case did they cite in favor of this? They didn't go looking for any case that was basically saying that at the point you were elected, you were a citizen. Because they knew if they had gone down that commonsensical route to say, you are an MP elect on 7th of January, you are a citizen of Canada on 7th of January, therefore you are disqualified. Everybody agrees that is the base position. That's what has operated since 92. They know it very well. And many an MP from their side has done exactly that. What they went for was a case in Australia. Yeah. Re Gallagher in 2018, the High Court of Australia. And you can look it up. The facts of that case are as follows. You had a Labour Party senator who was born in Britain and therefore had British citizenship at the time she was aspiring to be a senator. She applied for renunciation. She was nominated on 31st of May 2016. She applied for renunciation thereabouts. She was elected on the 2nd of August 2016. And her renunciation was effective on the 16th of August 2016. So technically her renunciation came into being. The British government issued her a certificate of renunciation 2 weeks after she was elected.
Right.
And so when you read that case and you read the judgment that was given by the judges, they were clear that they were reversing her senatorship because at the point she was elected, she was a citizen of both Britain and Australia. Simple. That is the particular case that Godfrey Dami cited to the Supreme Court. And unfortunately, the Supreme Court got their knickers twisted here because that case, fundamentally, the facts of the case are completely different from James Kwesi's case.
Okay.
Now, what was James Kwesi's case? Kwesi's case was this. He filed, look, he had applied for his renunciation long before he even filed his nominations. Right?
Okay.
He filed his nomination, in fact, he applied for his nomination way back in 2019, over a year. Right? Then he filed his nomination to the EC by the 9th of October, between the 5th and the 9th of October. And during that filing, you had a situation where the MPP challenged that at the time he was filing, he was a citizen. The EC asked the MPP to prove it. They couldn't prove it because by then, the Canadian government had made the decision. What he was waiting for was his certificate.
Right.
Barely 3 weeks later, he issued the certificate to them. This is in November. He gave the certificate of renunciation to the EC. And this is way before 7th of January. At least a month before 7th of January. Right? Sorry, 7th of December.
Yeah.
So by the time the EC even put him on the ballot paper, the EC had a copy of his renunciation certificate that said he was no more a citizen of Canada.
Right.
And so come 7th of December, he was PC elect, solely Ghanaian citizen. Now you can see that case versus the case of Mrs. Gallagher, who was elected while still being a British citizen, cannot be compared. And yet our learned judges at the Supreme Court decided to mix this cocoa and wachi and say that in her case, she was elected while she was still British, and they held that she should therefore be disqualified. In your case, you were elected when you were no longer Canadian. But we don't care about the fact that at the point we put you on ballot paper, you were not Canadian. At the point you were elected, you were not Canadian. We will still disqualify you. Why? Because at the point you submitted your forms, you hadn't provided your certificate yet. And the Constitution is clear. It says that at the point of being a member of Parliament, and look, you can go through it, and even they themselves, the first thing they did is they go to Article 94(2) and they read out what it says. And they say very clearly that a person shall not be qualified to be a member of Parliament if he owes allegiance to a country other than MP. So at the point you are filing, are you a member of Parliament? The filing can go either way. Once you are elected, that's when the decision can be made, so that you can then be deprived of being a member of Parliament or not. At the point they had filed, the documents were being sent to the EC to go and do their due diligence. The EC did their due diligence, asked for further information. He provided them a certificate to show that he was solely Ghanaian, and the EC was satisfied. So we can see that there's a certain, respectfully, voodoo decision that has been made, where the Supreme Court has copied and pasted a case in Canada, in Australia, that the facts of which are completely different from Kwesi's case. Kwesi's case, he was not, and let me emphasize, he was not a citizen of Canada on the day he was elected, and the EC was so satisfied. In the case of Gallagher that they cited, she was still a member, a citizen of Britain on the day she was elected, and still 2 weeks after she was still. And so when you look at it, the fact that the Supreme Court had to go for this kind of case, because if they went for any other case that showed that on the day of election they were not, all those cases show that they have thrown those out. So that tells me that this Supreme Court decision is very clear. It's even worse than the decision where it said that your birth certificate doesn't amount to evidence of your citizenship, even though it clearly says on there who your parents are, what their nationality, and the same Constitution says that if your parents are Ghanaian, you are Ghanaian. So I don't take what Alote Jacobs has said. I mean, the guy is already pissed off with the NDC. I'm not surprised. So we should not pay credence to whatever he has said. We should pay credence to the facts of the case and to the conduct of the MPP, and in fact, the specific case law that they cited. The case law they cited is not comparable, and I'm surprised that the learned judges, me, I'm just a passerby. I'm an ignorant member. I'm not a lawyer. But when I read the English, it leaves no doubt in my mind that it is, if you were a Canadian on the day of election, then you are disqualified. You were not a candidate on the day of the election. So why disqualify me when I hadn't got it yet? How can you disqualify somebody from something he hasn't gotten yet because he's got something else?
Okay.
From the school of common sense perspective, I mean, and the law, of course, has to always take off that common sense test.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Conrad, for that submission. You've given a very good background and also a breakdown of referring to the Australian example that the Attorney General and their group of solicitors had to put forward. So, right, let me go straight to Dr. Aikings. Are you with us, Doc?
Yes, I am with you.
Okay.
Just setting myself up.
Okay.
So, yeah. Let's continue.
Okay, I was going to come to you, but let me quickly do a quick acknowledgement, and then I'll come back straight to you on the question of this this whole High Court or Supreme Court thing. I'll come back to you in a sec. And if you just join us, you're live on Star Radio UK, and the program is Faith Talk live on Star Radio UK this evening. A very special one, special edition concerning politics of Ghana. Why? I mean, why is this important for us to be here on a Monday night? Basically, that will change the dynamics of the political landscape, or what the nation. Are we going to move forward? Are we going to get more accountability? What are we going to do as a people in Parliament, to be precise? So it's important. I've been watching, I've been following keenly almost throughout the whole day what has been going on. Almost, I mean, most media houses are in Assin, and these, I mean, Assin, if you're a citizen of Assin, let us know, and congratulate you for bringing Ghana and the world to Assin. Why Assin? And so please keep on sharing. If you want to send us a contribution or a question concerning the topic we're discussing, you're more than happy. The phone lines, no, we're not opening the phone lines, but we can take your comments, and unless if the MPP communication team have changed their mind, then we can get them maybe to phone in. But if not, if you want to ask a question, this is a dedicated line for WhatsApp messages. It's 07539661744. That's 07539661744. Or you can send us a message on our Facebook page or the live feed, and also on our YouTube channel. You can send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to read it out, and also get our panelists to answer those questions. We're streaming also on Twitter. It's a Star Radio UK. On tuning in, you can listen on the go, and also we have an amazing interactive user-friendly app that is the Star Radio UK app. Go to your Android or Apple store, download, listen on the go. We're here to educate, inform, empower, and make sure that in the end you're transformed. That's what we're here. And so this Thursday we have some amazing stuff for you on the Property Hour show. If you need or you want to learn about properties, you want to buy your first property, you want to increase your portfolio, you want to know the legalities, the legal stuff when it comes to properties or anything in property, is the Property Hour show this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're here with all the professionals and the people, the movers and shakers of the in the industry, I beg your pardon, in the industry, and we'll be able to help you out. And if you're looking to buy or sell, or if you're looking to invest in the UK or in Africa when it comes to properties or real estate, look no further. We'll be more than able to direct you to the right sources. And so the Property Hour is your best source into the property market or industry in the UK. Join us this Thursday evening. I believe that my guest, Dr. Lord Dusay Aikings, is all set and ready. Doc, if you're ready, are you ready for me?
Please, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. So, my question is surrounding the Supreme Court. I mean, I know they are going to try. As a matter of fact, I heard something that needs to be clarified, that tomorrow Mr. James Quayson is going to the court. Is going to the Supreme Court. I don't know how true that is, and so some people are saying that why would you vote for a candidate that there's a possibility that he might go to jail, there's a possibility that he might not, so it's a 50-50. Why would you want to put the whole constituency into this kind of trouble or problem or challenge or issue? Is this something that we need to have a critical look, or is a political buttons being pressed or manipulations being put in place to frustrate people not to be elected as duly as they were elected in regards to Mr. Quayson for 2020, and for this second time, is it a setup or a tool or a weapon to frustrate him, to get him out of the whole race, or to get him not to even contest at all?
I think the MPP has done a lot of work. First of all, to get the honorable gentleman
Yes.
to be a member of parliament.
Yeah.
And then it has also put in place several impediments to make sure he doesn't even contest. So I think there's some credibility to this fact that he's going to court tomorrow. I have heard of it, and I think the part of the population, the MPP, as a party, the leaders of the party and the party in general have done to make sure that he is up. But I think the guy is a fighter. I mean, James Quayson is a fighter, and I like his zeal as well. Given the environment where he's been operating for, the MPP would like to make it very hostile. I mean, make the environment hostile for him. But generally, he has stood his grounds, fought the various court battles, though he hasn't won. But I think that he has shown considerable amount of courage when it comes to this very electoral process.
Yes.
When the case went to court, I mean to the Cape Coast High Court.
The High Court, yes.
He lost. He appealed. He lost that one too, and I think the case went further to the Supreme Court, and there too he has not been successful. And then the MPP, I mean, I would say the MPP managed to get the Supreme Court to say that the guy cannot sit in Parliament. And the Supreme Court agreed with the MPP's position. And so that has been part of the MPP's calculations to frustrate him.
Right.
Given that, I think that the NDC too, as a party, we've done well in supporting James Quayson. I think they've done very good. They provided him a lot of support, and that support has also encouraged him to also push ahead with his interest to contest. I think that when the case first went to the High Court, he should not in my opinion, he shouldn't have appealed.
Okay.
If he had not appealed,
why?
What would have happened was for the case for us to have early by-election. But because he appealed, it became a process. Finally, it ended in the Supreme Court. But if he had not appealed, all that would have happened was that, okay, then that constituency would have become vacant. And as a vacant constituency, by-election would have been instituted. But because he appealed and all this process delayed, this by-election that we are currently having, I think that it would have come, it might have come quite early if he had not appealed. But I do understand him because he has every legal right to pursue the case. Whoever took him to court also had every legal right to question the constitutionality of his election. I mean, he was elected all right, but the constitution, electoral laws of Ghana have laid down rules. And I think I disagree with my fellow panelists when he said the constitution is silent on whether you should resign or you become a contestant. I think that Kwesi did the right thing, except that the process did not wasn't fast enough. So you can see that he had good intentions, and I think that is what the judges should have seen or should have looked at. That he had good intentions to renounce his Canadian citizenship. He had good intentions and he initiated the process. So the judges should have taken that into serious consideration, that Mr. Kwesi didn't have any diabolical intention to hide or to operate, to take the laws of Ghana for granted.
But Doc, I mean, there's other quarters talking about that was the COVID time, so processes were slow, and every institution were just being delayed left, right, center. But also, not to talk about, you can fast track as compared to some part of the world that you can get things overnight, but we know in the developed world things stuff like that will have to go through the right processes. So that's one aspect of it.
So generally the court, the High Court wasn't fair to him. The High Court didn't treat him well. The judge overlooked. If you go to court, we look at evidence. Did Mr. Kwesi make any effort to renounce his Canadian citizenship? The answer is clearly yes.
Right.
Was it his fault that he could not complete the process? No. As you said, we were in the COVID period. The institutions have stopped working. Even the Electoral Commission, they couldn't get people face to face to talk to. All these things should have been taken into consideration. So for me, for the High Court, the judge erred. He erred completely for overlooking all this important evidence that Mr. Kwesi tried to do the right thing. But my problem with him was that he appealed, and that appeal process also dragged the whole issue. Otherwise, we would have had this by-election a long time ago, and then the MPP wouldn't have had enough time to strategize, and Mr. Kwesi would have won straight away. But now, as my other panelists said, the MPP have strategized and they've gone to select somebody from the same hometown, which means that constituency has become a very tough battleground now. Two candidates from the same town, what is going to happen? the community is going to be divided, obviously. Some are going to back the MPP candidate, others are also going to back Mr. Kwesi, which will also make the election very beautiful, because this is how elections will be contested. You should have two key candidates, and then the winner will say, yes, I have won, and I've won soundly. So I think that by appealing and dragging the process on, it had given NPP a lot of time to also strategize and to do some of the things that they couldn't have done if the by-election had come on earlier on. But in general, the court weren't fair to the gentleman. He should not have gone ahead and rule against him, because he did what he should have done, except that we were in it. The MPP government do admit that the COVID had impact. The COVID did impact Ghana's economy, but no sectors of the economy. So if you admit that the COVID did have impact, then why are you saying that the COVID didn't have anything to do with the man's registration?
Yeah,
that is double talk. At one point in time, we were saying, because of the COVID, the economy has crashed. The economy is not doing well. The economy, we are not able to do so many things because of the COVID. Now, the one person is also using the same argument to say, okay, because of the COVID, I couldn't register, I couldn't renounce my citizenship as early as possible. Then you are saying, no, what you are saying is not correct.
But Doc, do you think the NDC, they is there something that escaped them for them not to use the COVID situation, just like what you've quoted? Now, the first point as to the moment the High Court annulled the elections or his election, then possibly that would have sort of summarized the whole setup for him to go back, and they wouldn't have, the MPP wouldn't have had enough time to re-strategize, as you said. But also, most importantly, what you just said with regards to the COVID, we know that even in the United Kingdom, if there's something that crucial and you are able to prove that COVID played a major role to deny you of fast tracking a particular process, the judges will have a look, and if what you're saying is in line with what has happened, as in the documentation, then you are free to go. So just it's a very interesting one, very, very interesting. Doc, I will please come back to you. Let me go back straight to Fifi. Fifi, this might be a bit cheeky, but I believe that we're here to answer all questions and to the best of our knowledge. Now, some of the things that have come up is that Mr. Kwesi is a 71-year-old man. He's on retirement, and he's been away for 45 years, and after 45 years, he's now coming back to retire with the MP's Common Fund and makes more money than the time he's been away in the diaspora. And they believe that his time is past. He's used all his strength to serve at another nation, and so they should give the opportunity to the younger ones, the people that have stayed in the constituency or in the country with them, for those people that feel and know what it feels to be an ordinary Assin North constituent. They believe that the younger gentleman should be given the opportunity rather than a retired gentleman that wants to enter politics at that age. What is your take on that? Fifi, I think you're mute.
That is very, very interesting narrative that is going on. KB, before I answer direct to your question, let me go. Is this not the very NDP administration and the president, you is going around asking all of us in the diaspora to come back and help support Ghana and put Ghana on the map, on the world map. So they preach one thing, and then when it goes against them, they preach another. This is the very president who is preaching for diasporas to come home and support, to come home and build, to come home and bring their knowledge to come and help the country develop. At a point, they were even calling Ghanaians who were leaving Ghana to come and work in and abroad. They call them brain drain. But this time around, you are brain draining Canada, who have developed and put so much into the man to come to Ghana and bring that wisdom, bring that education, bring that exposure, everything that the man has learned and experienced in government for the past 45 years, now to come and help. You were saying to him, he's too old. How old is our president? And how old are many of the members of parliament? The laws allows him to come in at the age of 71 to come and help. There is nothing wrong for Kwesi deciding that I'm not 72 back to my root, come and help. The administration is black Americans to come. Black Americans who have no I don't want to use the word roots, but they are not indigenous Ghanaians. They are even being asked to come home.
So they can become MPs after 5 years, 4 or 5 years, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, which is good.
So how much more Kwesi, who was born and bred in Ghana, raised in Ghana, left Ghana, educated elsewhere, worked elsewhere, got an experience, and said, I'm coming back to come and help my people. You know, so Kebby, this is what it is. This is exactly what it is.
Right.
The word they use that time has passed. No human being time passes unless you are dead.
Okay.
So for us, Kwesi is for the heart to do what is right for the people of Assin North. It's not about him. The fight is not about Kwesi. It's about the development of his people. That he realized there were in the parliamentary Hamzat the opportunity that Kwesi had to go to parliament. Unfortunately, I did not print that Hamzat yet, but I'm going to quote from my memory. The opportunity that he had to go to parliament, you could see that it was all about the development of Assin North and nothing else. Because he raised issues that has not been raised previously by his predecessors, with regards to the rivers, with regards to Galamsey, with regards to the construction of roads. So Kwesi is about development. Kwesi has thrown so much of his personal money, even when the court has asked him to stay away from parliament. The man has used his personal money to even develop his constituency.
What are some of his development projects? Do you have?
If you go down to Assin North today, that everybody is witnessing, the people of Assin North themselves are saying, where you could see the lights. There were places that, so many places that there were no lights. Kwesi his own money. There are street lights. There are areas that maybe in the night people feel it's light up the place.
But I also heard another MPP communicator talking about the fact that during the time of Honorable Kennedy Japan, he is the one that invested in the poles, about 2,000 light poles, and then the NDC government came in and put the lights on. So one way or the other. It's a combination of the two parties getting lights on the streets. I mean,
personally, I haven't heard that argument, and I'm very surprised that narrative is popping up. We all know Kennedy Dapon is not from the Assin North.
Yes.
He is not from the Assin North. So I'm very surprised that they are now saying that Kennedy Dapon is the one who actually understood that project. Having said that, there is absolutely no way that the people of Assin North, this having been mentioned by Grayson himself, it has been mentioned by the good people of Assin North themselves, that look, with Grayson development, we can see it. Because they were plunged in darkness.
Right.
And talking about lights, look, when we talk about electrification of Ghana, or electrification extensions and what have you, we all know the NDC, Social Democrat Party, has done so much with regards, more than the NPP, with regards to lighting. From the rural electrification project all the way back then into what do you call it, mobile phones and what have you. So when it comes to lighting, communication, what have you, it's always been the NDC. So when people like Dr. Baumia, I know it's not part of it questioning, but people like Dr. Baumia questioning John Mama that, tell us one single policies and what have you, that was why he was quoted recently that when JM, John Dramani Mahama, was in charge of communications, setting up mobile phones when they did the advert, Migra Bontin, America say, but that time, where was Baumia? You know, where was Baumia? So we set things like this up. We set the NDC always shown that they are far more bigger party. Look, the NDC did the biggest ecosystem data center to try and push the Ghana.com. The savers, to ensure that we will have enough security and what have you. These are projects which has been done by the NDC.
Right.
And we built on it years and years out whilst we've been around. So this narrative that Grayson is 71 years, his time has passed.
Yeah.
And I will end it by saying that their president is way over 71. A lot of their MPs are way over 71. Their time has passed, and we have to retire them first. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you for that. The end and to wrap up. Chairman, I'm coming to you. Let me say thank you to our viewers across the world on Twitter, it's Star Radio UK, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope, on TuneIn Radio, so many platforms. And if you've tuned in, thank you. We're discussing the Assin by-elections in Ghana politics. What is going to happen tomorrow? We'll be wrapping up soon, but I'm going to go to Chairman Korad and for him to give us Chairman, this is my question.
Yeah.
You know, the whole setup of by-election. I watched one lady that was it the Kumau by-elections or so. There was one lady that was very vocal, and she was like, her prayer is that the MPs that are not performing, God will begin to kill them, so that there will be more by-elections, and then the government and almost both parties, but especially the government will come to those localities and do and perform some magics of roads and light and everything that is not working in the constituency will begin to work. So more of the by-elections than more of development. That's a funny one, but to be quite honest, should we wait till a by-election for I mean, it goes to both the NDC and the MPP because it's something is become a norm, and I don't think it's right. But as a people, should we be waiting for by-elections? That's number one. The second part of the question is that as diasporans, what has happened to Mr. Assin can happen to every single diasporan. Whether you are MPP, you are NDC, there might be just that tiny bit. And if you decide to go back and serve your motherland, and impediments like this are put in your way for you not to execute that vision you have for your constituents, is this something that we have to have a rethink as diasporans? Do we have to be bipartisan and sit down and look into details of how, no matter your political affiliation, we look at how we can also, because almost every diasporan has got a dream, has got a vision, how they can also give back to the society, give back to the nation that has raised them. And what should we be doing? Should we be more political or politically biased and lose out? Or if we are looking to develop a nation like Ghana, should we be bipartisan?
Yeah, thank you very much, KB, for that question. And I think that question brings in a couple of things that I had wanted to say based on prior questions. Very quickly on whether or not MP should die to give us a by-election. Only a bad government waits for a by-election to go and construct roads. To be honest with you,
but the NDC
I don't think that the NDC. I wouldn't agree with that.
No, the NDC has done it before.
The roads that the NDC used to construct.
The NDC has done it before.
Roads, railways, bridges. Of course, when there's a by-election, the constituency gets a little bit more attention.
Yeah.
So to that extent, I can say that. But if you look at what she prayed for, under this very cunning NPP government, it won't work. Why? Kumawu is a case in point. And now the by-election within 30 days, they mobilized contractors, got people there, they started doing things. The day after the by-election, they moved all those equipment straight to Assin to go for another grand deception. So as we pray for them to die, we should be careful that the government actually does the work before the election happens. Because the moment you do the vote, they are gone. And I mean, there was one of the chiefs in Kuba who was complaining that right after that, all the equipment disappeared. You know, and the MPP said, oh, don't worry, we are still working on it. All that energy and vigor was gone. But that's by the by on that joke. But to come back to the point you talked about, and I want to dovetail it in a certain way. I know Dr. Aikings mentioned that, about NDC strategy and what happened. What happened is a classic abuse of law. Why? Because, you see, the case went first to the Cape Coast High Court.
Yeah.
Then he appealed. It should have gone to what court? The appeals court. The Supreme Court itself, time and time again, has reiterated, using Article 99 of our Constitution and Section 16 of PNDC Law 284, to indicate that when it comes to matters around members of Parliament, election in Parliament, the High Court, and if you are not happy with the High Court, it terminates at the Court of Appeal. So the Supreme Court has not always been entertaining this kind of stuff. What we ended up was, we went to High Court, facing lost, facing then appealed to the Appeals Court, and the government took the case straight to Supreme Court. Supreme Court then made the decision, and then the Appeals Court then effectively validated what the Supreme Court did. So basically, even if it were to get to Supreme Court, which is not what is in our rules books, those cases should end High Court and then Appeals Court terminal for MP type things. This is not presidential stuff. The Supreme Court's own case only said that. Now on this occasion they did not follow that. But more importantly, what was the NDC strategy? And that ties in with the question you asked about us in the diaspora. Remember when I spoke earlier, I said both the MPP and the NDC have always known that the reality is that you only have to make sure that at the time of your election you are solely Ghanaian. That was enshrined in Section 20 of PNDC Law 284.
Okay.
And I'll read it out to you. It basically says this, that the election, this is section 20, clause 1 of PNDC law, Representation of People's Act, PNDC law 284.
20,
it says as follows.
20.
The election, yes, 284.
284.
That's section
okay.
21, section 20, clause 1 of PNDC law 284, the Representation of People's Act. And it says as follows in clause 1. The election of a candidate shall be declared void on an election petition if the High Court is satisfied that the candidate was at the time of his election a person not qualified or a person disqualified for the election. The key word here was what? A candidate was at the time of his election. Now, in terms of qualification, non-qualifications, yes, we agree Article 94(2) and 94(1). 94(1) basically says you shouldn't be a dual citizen, and 94(2) says you shouldn't owe allegiance anywhere else. So those two clauses just state what your qualifications would be. But when it comes to at what point will those qualifications kick in, it is section 20 clause 1 of PNDC law 284 that is crystal clear that it is at the time of your election that you should then be held on whether or not you are a dual citizen or you owe allegiance. So that is the standard since 1992 that both parties have gone with, that the courts have gone with. What the MPP has done through our United FC, our Supreme Court, is they have turned that law upside down. They have completely thrown out this arrangement that has worked with us for the past 30 plus years, right? And they have straight away gone in to say, now we no longer care about section 20 of PNDC law 284. It is no longer you then proving that you were qualified at the time of your election. This is written in black and white. Clear black and white, no need for any interpretation. It says at the time of his election. They have thrown that out and they have now said no, it's no longer at the time of election, now backdate to the time when you nominated. And so the NDC strategy was always grounded in law. The NDC did not expect that a party that claims and subscribes to rule of law would clearly throw away PNDC law 284 section 21 and then move backwards to say we are now looking at when you file nominations, not at the time of election as stipulated in law. Since when? Since our fourth republic. That is what has always been the case. So Dr. Aikings, the NDC's strategy was always grounded in law. We should never have been expecting that this government will deliberately, through its assigns, and I'm being clear here, the case is heard so we can see it, in the Supreme Court, turn it upside down. Even the Supreme Court judges know that. And add to that the fact that when we looked earlier, they went and used the wrong case, wrong facts to compare to this. And so that when Payson went to court, he was confident that if we go by what is clearly written, the precedent that is there, he was clean. His certificate of renunciation was available to him in November of that year, which is at least a month before election. And in fact, it's not even COVID that was responsible for him filing it. He applied to renounce his citizenship in 2019, before COVID struck. In 2019, a whole clear year before. So it wasn't anything that was his fault. But what that then means for you and I in the diaspora is this. Previously, there was some protection where it was basically said that you can come home as a Ghanaian, you can contest for parliamentary seat, as long as by the day of the election, by 7th December of that year, you are no longer a citizen of any other country. Now, this government has moved it back to the point of nomination. The next thing you know, they already say before you even file as a member of the
has it been changed?
Well, that's the import of the judgment. The judgment, when you read the judgment, all 35 pages of it from the Supreme Court, what they are saying is that because Quincy, at the time he filed his nomination between the 5th and the 9th of October, had still not received his certificate of renunciation. It means he was still a Canadian citizen at that point, and that is the point at which you should determine his qualification to be an MP. When the EC itself disagreed, the EC disagreed with the MPP at that stage. The MPP challenged it at that stage. The EC asked them for evidence, they couldn't prove. They asked Quincy to bring his renunciation certificate. He surrendered it in November, and the EC was satisfied that in line with section 20 1 of PNDC law 284, as long as he was no longer a member of a citizen of any other country as of 7th December 2020, he was fine. That was the position of the EC. And this explains why the EC refused to put up a defense. Because bear in mind, this case was filed against James, Quayson, and the EC. The EC knew that if they had come there, they would either be confirming that their interpretation of Section 21 of PNGC Law 284 was sound and has always been the way the EC has conducted itself from 1992, from the days of Afarijan through Charlotte Osei straight to now. That's why they refused to turn up in court as usual. Because they knew that this is the safety ground that has always been there. The Supreme Court turned logic upside down, effectively invalidated PNGC Law 284 Section 21 by saying it is no longer at the time of your election, which is commonsensical. Remember I said that. It's now saying at the time of your nomination. What does it mean for us as diasporians? Look, the diasporians have contributed enormously to Ghana. If you look at even our remittances and investment, in remittances alone, we last year we contributed about $4.6 billion in remittances. 2018 it was about 3.5. Last year it was 4.6 billion.
4.6 billion.
$4.6 billion.
And
that's 1.6 more than this IMF 3 billion.
And the government is going for a loan of 3 billion.
Of 3 billion.
Okay.
So
then we are in business.
Good. And you see, and do you know the percentage of what that constitutes? That constitutes 6.1% of Ghana's entire GDP.
Wow.
So you and I here, the money we send every year, as of last year, the money we send, in fact, as of 2018, it constituted about 7.5% of GDP. But as of last year, what we sent home constituted a total of 6.1% of GDP. Imagine if we are contributing 6.1% of GDP every year. Every 10 years, we have put in at least, if you look at it in static terms, 60%. Every 20 years, if you project at the current rate, just keep it locked down. That is the contribution of the diaspora. So we should not be putting impediments in the way of diasporans. Because a lot of these remittances, we send them home and build our houses, put up our investments, so that when we go home, we can continue. So we contribute to the economy from afar, and then we go home to continue. There are many businesses in Ghana that were started by diasporians. Some of our favorite actors, they were from the diaspora that went home. They were born and bred there, and they went home and carried on. Jackie Appiah and the like. And so the role of the diaspora is important, and the government should be we diasporians. Look, even if you are saying we should not be members of parliament or hold certain positions, when we are dual citizens, when we are prepared to surrender them at the point you are appointing us, it should be acceptable. It should not be at the point I make my mind, then straight, if I am, then you are not qualified. And this is why I support President Mohammed's bid to scrap Article 527 of the Constitution, which is potentially, that's the particular one that says if you are a dual citizen, you can hold certain key roles. First and foremost, we are Ghanaians. In fact, we should even be proud. If KB, your children here, decide one day I was born and bred in Britain, I want to renounce my British citizenship and go back to my mother Ghana and build Ghana the way I have lived and enjoyed UK. That is what we should all be looking at. Boris Johnson, was he not a dual national, British and American, when he was member of parliament here and enjoying himself? Has he not contributed to this economy? So why this fixation of them and us? We were all born in Ghana. We all grew up in Ghana. Most of us came here to study or to work. We are all going back to Ghana. So I don't see why any government worth its salt should be so interested in demonizing its diaspora. Diasporas across the globe have been very instrumental in the development of their mother countries. And governments that recognize that even go as far as issuing diaspora bonds to tap into the finances and the expertise of their citizens abroad for the betterment of their mother country. And this goes to the heart of your question. I think that we as diasporans should gel together, regardless of MPP or NDC playing football with this. Because trust me, tomorrow, NDC comes in, they also say, okay, we have these MPs from MPP that are here. They also go to court on this flimsy judgment that has come. And I'll be happy for somebody to go and seek judgment. I'm disappointed that a Supreme Court will stoop to this level to disregard existing law and turn this law upside down without any justifiable cause. This is a recipe for disaster. But so the rallying call is for us in the diaspora. We shouldn't see this as an MPP or NDC thing. If you are in the diaspora and you're interested in Mother Ghana, it is not about the position. Most people in the diaspora don't go to Ghana to make money. And that gets to the question of the MPP's accusation that Quayson is coming to use, ex gratia to satisfy himself. 45 years of working in Canada, do they know the value of assets, if not pensions, he would have accrued. Canada is by no means a poor country, even in this country. He does, look, at his age, he could have just gone home, sat down, and enjoyed himself and relaxed. But he's invested in some astroturfs, he's invested in various projects from his own pocket in his community. These are the kind of diasporians we want in Ghana. Not the type that go there for big contracts, make money, and run back to come and buy houses here. And I know a lot of my friends and other associates in MPP who have done that. Basically, taking reverse investment, go to Ghana, take the money, come and buy houses here. We know them. I mean, we live around some of them. We know our own levels. You know, what we want is those who are putting back into Ghana, not those who play politics, go home, collect the money, and come the next day, you know, they are buying some house. There's one of, okay, let me know, when another came for the King's graduation, he was in Milton Keynes here. Ask him where he came to. So we don't want our money from Ghana coming here to buy mansions. We want it home. That is what Quincy is doing. So back to your clarion call, to the NDC guys, MPP guys listening. Let us fight for an opportunity to develop our country. I certainly will not be going home to Ghana. However much our MPs are paid, it's peanuts relative to what you earn here.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. Most of our MPs are actually retired MPs live here. They come here for peace of mind. So when you are going, you are running away from comfort into the crucible of fire to serve your people, and you should not be treated like Christians.
I think it's too stressful to even go through this whole terrain of campaigning and all. I don't know how people do it, you know, but it's when I look at the kind of stress you're going to go through, and the money you're going to spend. Yes, people have their ways of making that money back. Fair enough, but it has to be legal, though. But what I'm saying is, I don't know why people will want to even kill for this. But the main point is that I'm going to get Doc to come in a second. But I think we have to set time aside to discuss this whole diaspora thing. Invite other opinion leaders in our communities. Will focus on Ghana when it comes to the diaspora, because you're not going to take NPP or NDC when you go to the market, when you get to Ghana to buy. The money has no NPP or NDC on it. Where the water or the whatever it is, it's only the top brass that are going to be exempted from some of the taxes and some of the utilities and all those bits and pieces. So we've got to have an open mind, have an open discussion, honest discussion about the welfare of diasporans. How when we go back, because even when you go back to contest, or even not, let's take politics even aside, when you go back to establish, possibly Fifi might be able to give us a better testimony when it comes to even doing business back home, how people see you, not to talk about public office, what people, your own people will oppose you to your face, and as if you are coming to kill, rather you are coming to help. How can we get our people to know that, look, I'm not coming to take your money, I'm not coming to take anything from you, I'm only coming to help? Because I mean, what else do I need? I mean, apart from those galamsey thing and blah 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 blah. But let me get Doc to come here because of our time. We will have to set time aside and get into this. Doc, if you're with us, I just want to, if you can, possibly we'll take the last round and then wrap it up. With regards to the treatment of this gentleman, as a diasporan, how do you feel the mentality of our people opposing you, having a good conscience towards what you want to do for the people, what you have at heart, what your vision is, and you go back and people are opposing you as if you're coming to kill?
Thank you for the question. I think the question has not been featured fairly at all. And his statement sends a clear message to some of us who are also planning to go back to Ghana and to contribute our lot to the development of the country. I think that what the institutions in Ghana, and including the law, the court system, did to Mr. Kwesi hasn't shown a good light to some of us. We know that Ghana is our home, and we come here to work. And as my friend Fifi said, we've been sending $4.6 billion to Ghana every year. On the average, we have been sending about 3 billion every year. 3 billion on the average for the past 10 years. So that is a lot of money. If you can go and beg the IMF, licking the IMF toes just for 3 billion, how can you turn around and be treating your own citizens who are even supporting you more than the IMF or the World Bank?
And we are doing it for free. So, we are not taking that money back.
We are not even asking for interest. At the end of the day, the IMF or the World Bank is going to ask you for interest payment, and if you default, your credit rating is going to be destroyed, and your credibility in the international finance market is going to be tarnished. Whereas we send the money free of charge. The way the diasporans have been treated is very shameful. Very shameful.
But Doc, let me please chip this in, please. As you said, it's quite it's very shameful, not quite. It's very shameful because if they can accept our children to play for the Black Stars, and they will accept them as diasporans, why would they deny a politician or in any other office?
That is the double standard. That is the double standard of the system and the people who operate the system. If I have a son who is a very good athlete, you want him to come and then run or box or play for Ghana. When I myself also want to come and do the same in terms of politics, then you are trying to say no. First of all, it tells us of the selfishness of those in Ghana. You want our money, you want our children to come and die for the country, but they don't want us to come and also contribute to political development. Politics is a process. That is why we have a thing called development politics. We all of us have a role to play to make sure that Ghana's politics actually develop, matures, and become more enticing to the world. The diasporans have a role to play. We have a lot of knowledge. When we come here, the Westminster system is one of the best systems in the world.
Yeah.
Some of us are very familiar with the Westminster system. So when, assuming we are in Ghana and we are contributing to debate, we can actually let our experiences be felt. So if I want to come to Ghana and let this experience that I have gathered over the years, I want to share it with the people of Ghana, and you are denying me the opportunity. That is very sinful, and it marks on the face of justice. We are not being given fair treatment. Looking at our economic contribution. See, apart from setting up businesses, some of us or some of these diasporans, they've been paying electricity bills, school fees, a whole lot for several people in the country. If the diasporans are not doing that, that is going to seriously affect the economy of the country or the social well-being of the country. Assuming you have a lot of children who are not able to go to school because they can't pay fees, they are going to grow up to become social deviants. the diasporans are supporting these children to go to school to become something important for the country. We should be pardoned. We should be clapped for by not having impediments placed on our way to deny us the opportunity of contributing politically to the development of the country. I think that, as you said, we the diasporans, regardless of political affiliation, should come together, build the force, build the voice, and to have these laws that are saying that you have to do A, B, C, D before you can do A, B, C, D. We have to let all these laws be repealed. I mean, if there shouldn't be a law that says that I have to renounce my citizenship, that law is bogus.
Yeah.
If I can send money to Ghana for road construction, and I don't have to renounce my citizenship, why did I renounce my citizenship when I want to serve in politics? I want to serve the state.
That's ridiculous.
I think if we are able to unify our voice, we will be able to force Parliament to throw away some of these laws because they don't serve the interests of the diasporans, and neither do they serve the interests of Ghana. They may have their own reason why it is inserted in the Constitution, but I think that the Constitution is old and that part of the Constitution should be repealed. Look, Mr. President, the experience, the knowledge, and the resources that he is contributing to the development of his community.
Yeah.
And you want to prevent him from doing that. What kind of a person would do that? That with all the knowledge and resources that you have, I'm not going to allow you to serve your country. But we, as I said, we need to come together as a unified force, because when you have a unity, then you are able to break boundaries. But now there are a lot of boundaries preventing the diasporans from participating in the political development of the country. And unless those barriers are removed, some of us, those who have interest in going to Ghana to go and serve are going to find it difficult. So we need to come together, probably set up a WhatsApp platform where we can engage, have an association where we will register a diasporan voice, where we will have a forum to discuss some of our problems. Get people who have lived abroad and are now serving in Parliament, get them together to support our cause. If we're able to do that, we'll be able to change a lot of things on the ground.
That's true.
To favor the diaspora.
That's true.
We contribute not only material and financial terms, knowledge-wise. Knowledge-wise.
Yeah.
You can also see that we live in a knowledge economy. So you have people who have lived their lives in Europe and North America and have been able to acquire the depth of knowledge they want to share this knowledge with their colleagues in Ghana. They should be welcome.
Exactly.
They should be welcome. And I think that the people in Ghana in general, political parties in general, and the various communities in Ghana should help, should join, should support. Because by doing that, we are all going to be able to help build Ghana. Ghana cannot be built only on the sweat of those who are in Ghana. It can only be built. Look, every country that has developed, whether China, especially China recently, look at how the Chinese abroad have contributed in uplifting China.
That's true. That's true.
Koreans did the same. So if even the Ghanaian government is strategic enough, it could mobilize the resources that the diasporans have. Because we do have a lot of resources. But financial resources, knowledge.
Possibly because of Chobo, so it might not be too enticing to them. It might not even cross their minds that to engage us and basically to get us to sit at the table with them, because they know that we're going to be very 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 strict and not miss words, because we will not allow anybody to take a penny. It goes to what you've told us is going to do, and already we're doing it. It's not as if you're going to the IMF and filling all those forms and meeting all these criteria, or you have to qualify for this and that. And as Fifi and also Conrad mentioned, as to some of the things that they have to do and trying to win these elections because of the IMF kind of conditionalities that they've put forward, it's gonna make a mess of all this whole economy. But anyway, because of time, I don't know, but because of time, in 1 minute, if you can wrap up, then I can go to Fifi and then and Conrad, so that we can set a date for us to start conversations on the diaspora and the impact on the impact on the Ghana economy.
All that I'm saying is that the diasporans have a critical role to play, and we have been playing a critical role in Ghana. We have been supporting community, supporting our families, supporting even people who are not related to us.
Yeah.
Therefore, if we can do that from economic and social angle, why not politics? So the impediment being placed on the way of the diasporans, those impediments should be removed. But how can we do that? We can only do that when we are united as a force, and then we are able to voice our concerns out, and then get people who are also in Ghana to support us. But I think that we should, that cannot be done now. That I'm talking, I mean, when I say now, I'm talking about this current hour. It needs, we need to talk, we need to see who is where and how to bring ourselves together, set up probably a platform where we can share, contribute ideas. This man, crazy, we should all give our support to him.
Yeah.
We shouldn't look at it from political party perspective.
That's true.
He is one of our own.
Yeah.
So we should give him all the support that he needs. It's unfortunate that tomorrow is going to be the election. If some of it happen to be there, I would have campaigned for him, not because I belong to his party, but because he served my cause.
Yeah.
He's one of my own. I mean, more or less, it's a clan member.
That's true.
So that's what we're supposed to do. Give him the support that he needs, so that when he also gets to Parliament, he will also continue to voice, defend, support, and also increase the interest that we have in Ghana. He will be able to support that interest. We all have interest in Ghana.
That's
economic,
true.
political, security interest. When he's in Parliament, he will be able to support us in doing that.
Exactly.
So that is what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lord Edusei Aikings. And let me go straight to Fifi, and I'll come to Chamakoro and then wrap up. Fifi, tomorrow is the D-Day. Are you set? Are you positive about your party coming out victorious?
Thank you, baby. As far as the D-Day, are we set is the question. Yes, we are set. We push all the buttons that need pushing, and we believe that the great people of Assin North will back the NDC and their own, one of their own statuation, and then make him victorious against tomorrow. But having said that, let me touch base on one or two things before I end.
Yeah.
The role of the diaspora is super important, as my co-panelists have already said. And every government knows that. we should not play politics with people's lives because we want to get away with something, and then suddenly we kind of change rules and regulations. We kind of tweak laws to favor us.
Yeah.
If we do that as government or any government that comes to power, if they do that, what you're doing is you are pushing for social unrest. And when social unrest happens, we all know what the result. We have EC, who I can say is in bed with the current administration. Why? Because the EC in the beginning knew Kwesi was right all along. So the EC should have also gone to court with their defense, and then they should have squashed this case together. Why? They did not do that because they knew they knew what they wanted to do. They left Kwesi to himself for him to fight this corner. And we have the Supreme Court. My message to the Supreme Court is very simple. Every case that goes through that Supreme Court, every case that they sit on and they arrive at decision, that case is set as precedent. Now Supreme Court have set a different precedent with regards to renunciation, dual nationality, and then renouncing it to be a member of parliament. The Supreme Court have to also be very, 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 very careful in some of their judgment. We all remember when the election petition went to the Supreme Court, how they play with it, and we remember how they came all the way to UK to come and incite cases. In Justice Aikings case, they've gone all the way to Australia to go and incite cases. But when the E-levy was passed, when NDP did not have quorum, but they went on and passed the E-levy, and then we went to court. When the Supreme Court sat on the case, the court then said, oh, even though they were wrong, but it's been passed already, so common sense to rule. Having said common sense did not rule in that case, that he was hoping that he renounced before he became a member, and he even had his renunciation certificate before he became a member. These are some of the decisions that goes wrong when a particular government takes over a state institution and try to bulldoze their way through all these institutions. And I say that with confidence. Why? Because we had an attorney general who went to court and said he want to make a case for expeditious trial on that person's case. That person should appear in court every day. Meanwhile, there are cases that haven't been called in this Supreme Court for God knows how many years. But with that person, they have time for him to appear every day. I'm not going to end there. I quoted earlier that if you look at the parliamentary Hamza, that case, the opportunity that he had in parliament to stood on his feet. We have so many of our parliamentarians. Somebody like Kennedy Japon, I've never heard Kennedy Japon stand on his feet on the floor of parliament and ask questions or speak about
I've seen him once. I think once or twice.
You've seen him one in 30-something years.
I've seen him one or twice. I mean, since the live broadcast began, I've seen him
once or twice for 30-something years. Is that not pathetic? But
I mean, I don't know about the past, but since the live stream, the parliament began live stream.
Right.
Yes,
right.
So I don't know about the other years. Yeah.
In other words, looking at the years that he spent at parliament and the experience that he had, and as vocal as he said on various networks and we were expecting the same kind of person on the parliament floor debating issue. You don't. These people go hide there. And you have somebody like that equation. Few months. He took that opportunity. He was on his feet. He was demanding the good things for his people. And these are the kind of people that we need in parliament.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
he should be given this opportunity to go out there and then serve the people of Assin North. We are all ready. We hope that tomorrow is going to be a peaceful day. We're hoping for a peaceful day. We're hoping that people will go out there, cast their votes, and come out. What we don't want to do is we do not want vote buying as we saw. It is illegal. It shouldn't be happening. As we saw in Kumewu.
It's become normal. It's become normal in Ghana politics, which is it's abnormal, but we've made it normal. So
we cannot normalize
both political parties are guilty of that.
It's absolutely wrong to normalize these things. And then, to me, what really worries me is even the president himself has even weighed himself into it, because the president himself has made a statement, and it's a very, very worrying statement on the podium yesterday when he stood on his feet to make to make a case with regards to that equation by making what I call making prejudicial comments about that equation's case by saying, "Oh, how will we vote for somebody who is going to go to prison? How do you know he's going to go to prison? A president, a father of the land, you shouldn't be making such." But I'm not surprised. Why am I not surprised? Because they are doing everything to ensure that equation doesn't win
the elections tomorrow. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But hopefully it does. With regards to hopefully it does. With regards to that talking about that spreads again, Dr. Baumia.
In 1 minute, please.
They've all once lived over here in United Kingdom.
I don't think they remember.
Here before, he's married here before, and these people should know better.
I don't think they remember they've lived here. Do you think so? Do you think they remember that they've lived in the UK or in the US, or do you think
they do remember they live here? But it's the vicious nature. Is you know what bad politics does to people. It just doesn't ruin your decision making, but it messes your memory. Okay, and that is exactly what is happening today.
That's fine.
Thank you,
Chairman. I'm going to come to you. Let me quickly say thank you to our viewers across board. I know that some of the social media feeds have played up a little bit, but thank you. Ko Acho says check the echo. Okay, I believe it's much better now. Fatima Ansa says good evening everyone. Kojo Asante, hey Kosinke, he says how did Kwesen file and stand to contest if he wasn't deemed fit by the EC? And Becky Stone says fantastic delivery, Chairman Comrade Dumbah and VPS and Mparey. And Fatima Ansa say exactly. Okay, so just a few of the comment, and I'm coming straight to you, Chairman. Tomorrow is the D-Day. There's so much that has happened. There's so much that has been said. Counter accusations and all said and done. Look, Ghana has to win, and as Fifi said, we pray for a peaceful election day, and that Ayawaso wagon will not repeat itself, God forbid, so that everybody at the end of the day, whoever wins and wins convincingly, will accept. But my question is, has the NDC left it too late? Just like what Dr. Aikings said, that if he was on grounds, not because he's a fan of the NDC, but for the fact that the man is a diasporan, and if where you are coming from where you are going looks like where you are coming from, if it's a good picture, then you'll be excited, but if it's a bad picture, then you'll be worried. So if he was on grounds, he would have been there to support and stand with his comrade, Mr. Jesse Quayson. So are you guys ready? And on ground, you believe that you'll be able to maintain the 3,000 votes that is that made the difference in 2020? Would the NDC be able to take to retain the seats by the same man, Mr. Quayson?
Thank you very much, KB. I think that, look, I'm cautiously optimistic that the NDC will triumph at the end of the day. You know, the evidence around it actually testifies to that. If you see the fact that the entire NPP has literally emptied itself from all the four corners of Ghana, right from the president to every single regional chairman, constituency executives, they've all emptied themselves out right into Assin and booked out all the hospitality facilities they can get within several miles radius. The NDC is put up a very strong show, and indications are this election will be ours to lose. What most likely the NDP people will do when they are losing is, of course, tomorrow we are going to see them standing at police stations and trying to buy people's votes, as they did in Kumawu. You will see them in all the corners. So I expect videos of the MPP they have no sense of shame. That much we all agree. We will see what will happen. They will be going to people's houses even right from this night, basically trying to bribe people. For them, they don't care about morality. It's just about winning. But the NDC has fought a good fight. We have positioned ourselves very well to maintain that seat. And my biggest worry is that tomorrow the MPP will try Ayawaso West Wogon again. But I will encourage my comrades not to give up. I mean, and I salute some of our very gallant brothers and sisters like Kofi Ampoma, our current chapter deputy youth organizer, who has been in Assin North for the past almost a month plus, day in, day out, working with Jesse Quayson's team to ensure that our victory is safeguarded. I appeal to our people to be very vigilant and to be very steadfast and not to give up. We must break the MPP's back in Assin North. The right thing must happen, not just because it's NDC, but not even just because from a diasporan perspective, but from a moral perspective. No one, not an NDC member, not an NPP member, not a CPP member, should be taken through the kind of gauntlet that he has been forced to run. And so it's a moral duty, it's almost a crusade, that at all costs the good people of Assin North should make sure that Honorable James Jesse Quayson is retained. And I'm confident the party has pulled out all the stops. All our big guns are there, from President Mahama through General Mosquito, to every single who is who, including the many who are not who's, are all there. So whether you are a who, you are not a who, they are all there, they are all working hard. And by God, we are confident that by the grace of God, our victory shall be upon us in the next 24 hours. So that at least for once, Ghanaians can see that you do not always have to win a seat through shenanigans, through Machiavellianism, through sheer mugu, as my Hausa brothers will say. And so I am confident the NDC has done as much as it can. We pray that the MPP doesn't turn this into a bloody fest just to secure one seat. One way or the other, at the end of the day, I pray to God that James Jesse Quayson will come out the victor. I am that confident in that. And in 24 hours, I'm sure we shall be celebrating victory for Ghana.
Victory for Ghana. And from the former chairman of the Melting Kings chapter of the NDC, in the person of Mr. Conrad Dumbah, and also on the show has been Mr. Fifi Asante Mparey, also a member of the UK and Ireland chapter of the NDC. He is an entrepreneur, businessman, both in the UK and in Ghana as well. And on the show has been Dr. Lord Edusei Aikings, a doctoral researcher at the University of London School of African Studies, Oriental and African Studies, I believe so. And it's been a good discussion. But for me, my take is that the diaspora talk should not stop here. We've got to take it to the next level. We've got to make it happen, because if not, it might not be you or me, but our children will be denied their opportunity to offer their services or to also contribute to the building of our great nation, motherland Ghana. And so whether whoever wins, but we pray and hope that it will be a good win. The word clean, I'm not too sure if it will be connected to the elections tomorrow. Tomorrow, I beg your pardon. So let's hope that the best is done to make it as clean as possible, to give Ghana a better name, not a bad name. There's something that happened over the weekend that I'm investigating, so I don't want to bring it on board, but if it happens to be true, then God will have mercy on our nation Ghana and our leadership that we have. We pray that it's not so, because it will be it will tarnish the image of our great nation. But I'm hoping that it will not be what I've been privy to. And so let's hope and pray. But we'll bring the results of the research we're conducting to bear, because it's taxpayers' money. Nobody has to be given the right to just misappropriate or misuse or abuse the confidence imposed in them, and not to talk about the finance of our great country. Whilst we are talking about what going to IMF, and we have to cut our coats according to our size. So, gentlemen, I'm so grateful for your time this evening. It was yes, Kojo, this is Ghana Fest. Oh, yes, Kojo, I believe so. I believe that you've had a good time, and thank you so much for your time. I know it's back to work this week and long days, but for you to spend this time with us on the show, we highly appreciate it. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time, your knowledge. You know what? But it does not have to end here. The campaign for the diaspora, there's more to it, but the diaspora coming together, uniting as a strong force to make Ghana a better place. We have to begin this year. We have to make it. We have to plant the seed this year, nurture it, grow it, and make sure that we make Ghana a better place for all of us. Thank you ever so much, guys, and I appreciate you all for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Thank you. And you heard it for yourself. Tomorrow is the D-Day. Tomorrow is another big day in the history of Ghana. What is going to happen? Do we know? Only God knows. But as the lady and make our nation great and strong. I don't know how you feel if you hear this national anthem. Do we even know the words of this national anthem? And help us to resist oppressors' rule. And this particular version has got all the the verses of the national anthem. You're gonna hear the second stanza, as they say it. Ghana, our motherland. Are we ever gonna get to the place to make to make a solemn vow. A nation strong in unity, with our gift of minds and strength of arm, whether night or day, in the midst of storm, in every need or whatever the call may be, to serve thee, Ghana, now and forever, evermore. If you take time, please Google it and go through the national anthem of Ghana. If we truly mean what this national anthem says, or what is written by our forefathers for us, arise. I beg your pardon. It says, raise high the flag of Ghana, black star of hope and honor, to all who thirst for liberty. Where the banner of Ghana freely flies, may the way of freedom truly lie. Arise, arise, O sons of Ghana land, and under God march on forevermore. One more time. This is so emotional, and I don't know about you, but if you're a true Ghanaian, for the last time I'm going to play this national anthem. All the stanzas, most of the time we sing the first stanza and the chorus. Defense. Fill our hearts with truly meet. Make us cherish fearless honesty to resist oppressor's rule. For this one, we all know. The second stanza, I'm going to read the words. So here goes the second stanza. How do you feel as a Ghanaian if we're not following? Let's go. Steadfast to build together a nation strong in unity, with our gift of mind and strength of arm, whether night or day, in the midst of storm, we can do it as a great nation, blessed with every natural resource, human resource. Oh God Almighty. In every need, whatever the call may be, to serve thee, Ghana, now and forevermore. So the third stanza comes. Raise high the flag of Ghana, and one with Africa advance. Black star of hope and honor, to all who thirst for liberty. Where the banner of Ghana freely flies, may the way of freedom truly lie. Arise, arise, O sons of Ghana land, and under God march on forevermore. Rise, O sons of God, the land, and under God, march on forevermore. Hey. I don't know if you've heard these three versions in your lifetime. Most of the time is the first stanza that we sing in the chorus, and that's it. But it's a deep words that means a lot if we are to go by what he says. This is the tree version. God bless Dr. Ephraim Amo. Tonight, if you're Ghanaian, reflect on the grace and mercies of God towards us as a great nation. Are you a proud Ghanaian? Okay, so I'm wrapping up now. Or join me on Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the Property Hour show, where we discuss and talk about properties. I love Ghana. These songs. This song is a treasure, and I believe that you've been blessed this evening. Politics is part of the kingdom business, and one of the mountains that we as believers we have to use to influence, use the gospel to influence in politics. We have politicians that God himself ordained to make a statement of what he can do in the affairs of a nation. And so if you're a Christian and you say, oh, politics is dirty, it's dirty because you've decided to walk away. If it's dirty and you are clean, when you enter, Daniel and the three Hebrew boys were just 4 in the realm of 120 strong countries. It was a continent, the continent of Africa, the continent of Europe, and the United States, I believe, put together. That is what the Babylonian Empire was. And these 4 gentlemen, young men, decided as believers that they will not compromise, whether on corruption, whether to serve other gods, but in the end, because they took a stand, they made a choice first, and they took that stand, and they were resolute, unwavering, and also they were persuaded that even if they will be killed because of their belief in God, they will not bow, they will not take that bribe, they will not be compromised with corruption. These guys made a statement, and if you're a believer, God has placed that gift of politics in you, and you say, these guys are dirty. Sorry, these guys are dirty. Yes, that's why God has made you clean. If you're a believer, tongue speaking, spirit filled, you can be the next Daniel. whether in Ghana, whether in Europe, United Kingdom, United States, you can be the Daniel. The thing is that we are too carnal not to even die to self for God to have his way through us, for us to manifest his will, but we want our will. It's not. That is not how it works. And so as I wrap up, hey, we'll be doing politics till Jesus comes, whether you like it or not, if you're a believer. Because if we don't, you see, the reason why politicians will have their way and always they will make the laws that will affect you as a believer is the fact that if Daniel was not in government, some of the laws that were changed, he wouldn't be there. It wouldn't have been changed because he was there, and the gift of God in him manifested. The king changed, and also the 3 Hebrew boys. So you've got to be in there to change things. You don't have to sit on the fence and you point at politicians. If they are corrupt, you be anti-corrupt and stand out, and God will make you outstanding. And when they are outstanding, God will lift you beyond. If only you can take that stand and make a choice that with the Spirit of God in you, that Holy Spirit, you will also stand as the Holy Son of God, or the Holy Son of the Holy Daughter of God in politics, and make it clean. You can clean up the system, not by your might, not by your power, but by the Spirit of God. But we are not ready to die to self for him to have his way, and that's the only way that the enemy will always have his way. But hey, there's a new breed of politicians coming that God is going to use to turn the fortunes and the destinies of nations around. Watch out. Just watch the space. God is up to something. God bless you for tuning in to Faith Talk special edition on politics, and the focus was on Ghana politics. There's a by-election that will decide the future of Ghana when it comes to some of the terrible challenges we face in the last couple of years, most especially the 3 years ago in terms of the COVID era into this particular year that we're in. So it's a game changer, this by-election. That's why we had to take time to come in for this special edition of Faith Talk. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making time. Share it and let's discuss. But most importantly, watch out. You know what? If you're in the diaspora, we're looking to have a diaspora talk where we talk, regardless of your political affiliation, please, you'll be part of it. But we're not going to do politics, because if I want to buy anything on the market, there's no politician's signature that is going to give me for free. And so we're going to be bipartisan and talk about the diaspora take. Thank you. And our sponsors have been Kerry's Furniture, the most authoritative name, and also when it comes to quality furniture in the industry, you've got to look out for Kerry's Furniture. And then they are one company on 2 continents. The main, or the headquarters, is in Atlanta, Georgia. You can reach them via Instagram or Facebook. That is Kerry's, that's Kharis Furniture on Instagram or Facebook. Send them a message and they will be able to deliver and send you their catalog and deliver to your doorstep, whether in Caracas or Casablanca. They'll be able to deliver. Whether you are in Bogota or Achimegro, they'll be able to deliver to your doorstep. And also, if you mention Star Radio UK, you get a discount of 15%. And you can reach them via us on 0208 133 2258, 0208 133 2258, and also in Tema. In Tema, I always say Accra. Tema and Accra are the same, but in Tema Community 25, a top oil petrol station, you can't miss it. Deftraco Estate Junction, Community 25. They are there, huge building, huge writings on there. You can't miss it for anything. So you can connect with them. And also let me say thank you to me associate. If you're looking for a company to take your whether your retirement home, holiday home that you are personally building, or through friends and family that you might have burned your fingers, these guys will be able to help you out. So therefore, let me say that me associate, they'll be able to help you out. Take your projects from conception to completion. Give them a dial via us on 0208-133-2258. And let me say a big thank you to M&M Concept. When you're looking for graphic designs, print works, or merchandise, pull-up banners, t-shirts, pens, mags, everything that's got to do with designs and print works is M&M Concept. Amazing company, global company based in Accra, Ghana. Tesla, to be precise. So therefore, if you're looking for them, look no further. Give them a buzz via us 0208-122. That's 0208-133-2258. I'm super excited. I'm wrapping up. It's been a long day. Last but not the least, the major sponsor is CIG Properties. That's www.cigpropertyuk.com. www.cigpropertyuk.com. They will be able to, if you're looking to invest in the UK or in Africa, when it comes to real estate, look no further. That's Cornerstone International Group Limited. Solid and firm professionals, they'll deliver to your standard. CIG Properties come discover. Give them a buzz on 0203-916-5588. That's 0203-916-5588. And they'll be able to deliver to your standard and that which you demand. Quality. And so let me say thank you, KBA Bossman. It's been a real pleasure having you tonight on the special edition of the Faith Talk Live. It's always on Sundays from the hours of 2 p.m. We're here this coming Sunday. It's another packed day. Enjoy this and have a good night. I know it's a bit late out there, but the sun is toning down. It's setting now. It's a bit strange though. Not the only country, but over here it will be about 9:30 and the sun will still be out. Hey, come on. George Asantiewa, a big shout out to you and Mimi and the kids. God bless you, bro. Have a good night. God bless, no stress and nothing less. Let me say a big shout out to you out there. Congratulations to E-Wells. E-Wells Realty, I beg your pardon. E-Wells Realty and Consultancy. Real estate brokers in Ghana, winning the Diaspora awards for the brokers award as to the Ghana Real Estate Diaspora Real Estate Awards. You are sweeping all the awards this year. Congratulations to you, Hannah and the team. More power to you. Okay then. Big shout out to you all, generals. Apostle Robert Asari, God bless you, sir. Apostle Solomon Akole, Apostle Kenneth Esiema, Apostle Atabedu Senior and Junior, Apostle Julius Amwa, Prophet Bright Akwete. God bless you, sir. More power to you. More blessings to you. And more power to you. Evangelist Prince Fear Not. God bless you for using you in the east of Africa. God bless you. The fire is coming. Atadayama. Let me say a big shout out to you, Apostle Grace Kisira. Big shout out to you, Dr. Princess, the prophetess. Big shout out to you there. Oh, Apostle Joe Yangsen. I'm out. Thank you ever so much. Apostle Archie Hammond is here tomorrow 10 a.m. with the morning show team. It's gonna be another blast. All the current news, more news, and breaking news. All the political talks, what's happening in the countries across Africa and the nations of the earth. Join them 10 a.m. all the way to 1 p.m. It's going to be a good time, though. Mr. Frank Davis, more power to you. Ghana man now, eh? More power. More power. So thank you ever so much. I'm KBA Bossman. It's been a pleasure having me. Hey, I can't do this. My one and only, the man from Bashalisha, the anointed man from Bashalisha, the man with bread and fruits, Kadebosa, Kaya bro, more power. Apostle Jojo Emmanuel Lawson, God bless you, bro. How can I forget you, bro? More power and blessings to you. Mr. Eric Sego, God bless you and the family. Joel Insure, God bless you. Love you guys. And you know what? Mark this on Friday. It is going to be another blast. We have one of our very own. Let me say, Akosia Owusua is back with a bang. And on, let me say, what? On the 30th. Yes, on the 30th. Make a date. Her latest single is coming up. And you can't miss it for anything. If you listen to the song, it's the title of the latest is Glorious God. But listen to this. This is what you should be expecting. This is not the tune, but this is one of her tunes. Subscribe to her YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. On the 30th, it's gonna be live on all platforms. So the God that does impossible things, when the doctor says that they've given you a date, they've written down that there's no hope for you, that it's this, they said that your case is closed. There's a God that does the impossible. He turns this around and make it happen. Prophet Samuel Atanga and prophetess Shelly Atanga and the entire family, I salute you, bro. I love and appreciate you all. May the Lord continually increase you in his wisdom, great grace, and fresh fire and power to advance the kingdom like never before. The impossible you do, I wrap up now. Expect on the 30th a brand new Glorious God single from Akosia Owusua, and she's going to be in the studio this coming Sunday so that we talk about the latest one, Glorious God. I have a double dose on Sunday though. Glory and Have a good night. God bless. No stress, nothing less. KBA Bossman. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
All around the world. Turn it on. Turn it up.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Only the best music.
This is Star Radio UK.
The best radio show.
Sit back. Relax.
Your name is higher than other names. Victorious in all your ways. In your name we overcome. You are Lord. Your name is higher than other names. Glorious. Victorious in all your ways. In your name we overcome. You are Lord.
Broadcasting live online. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
The best radio show.
All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your
Star
smartphone.
Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
All the glory.
Only the best music. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Turn it on. Turn it up. Sit back. Relax.
The mighty things you do, that is why you are mighty. The greater things you do, that is why you are great. All the glory and honor to you.
Impossible you do.
Impossible you do, that is why you are Lord.
Mighty things you do.
Mighty things you do,
Hi there, this is CJ Buckler, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Your name is higher than other names.